make the stacks blow, rolling smoke out my nose, leaning on the console. I ain't seen no asphalt in about 10 miles, riding dirty in a heavy.
Yeah, boy. Right. Eli hasn't found new music yet. As you guys can tell, if you listen to our last podcast, that was our last day, $1.0. This is our first of Redefine.
That's right.
Eli, he's been busy with clients. We got fucking day jobs. You guys know that. He hasn't found a song he wants yet. And then listen, for me, I fucking love that song.
I was going to say, Slash genuinely just, man, I don't have any better ideas. Like, it's a good song.
Yeah, I got an idea. I want to throw this out there real quick.
You got?
I got an idea. Let me see. This could be a little teaser for what's to come. Let's see here. Oh, let's throw on let's throw on this one. Isn't that so good?
All right, some love making music, bro. I like it. Getting the mood right today.
That's not going to be our intro music. However, that is Christopher Mitchell. Super cool cat on Instagram.
Yeah.
500,000 followers, crushing it. He's done a great job on his Instagram with covers. But, dude, he'll travel everywhere and play covers and has a really cool thing. And I've been following him for probably at least a year. I'm a big music guy. Grew up around music, raised in music, played music. I was a percussionist. There's a difference.
In marching band, too.
I was, dude. I played the quads.
Yeah,
dude, and snare drum. And I grew up a percussionist. You grew up a deadbeat drummer.
Didn't you play?
You're cooler.
I played trumpet, too, when I was younger. Didn't you play something?
I tried to play guitar when I was first young. My mom played music for Columbia Records. And in addition to everything else she fucking did. So I grew up being a percussionist in like a Colorado Honor Band, which is like a symphonic band. And then all the way through high school, got to high school, I played symphonic band and marching band. Just got too busy with sports.
Yeah.
But I loved it, dude, because even though I was a jock per se, I wasn't. Like I had friends I was in theater class. I was in music. Like, dude, I had friends everywhere. Yeah. And there's something to be said about just appreciating different things and enjoying different things and not having to be this one thing.
Yep.
And I never got bullied for it, man. Like I was the best player on the team. Yep. What are you gonna do? You gonna beat me up?
Yeah.
No. You know?
Hell yeah.
It was just cool. And so I've been following this guy for about a year, and I was going through his stories the other day, and he was in Denver, at like Red Rocks or something. I was like, dude, did you come to Denver for some of your stuff? Like, holy shit, like. Would love to catch up. And he's like, no, man, that was like a month ago. Because I'm sure they're just doing a ton of content.
Yeah, tours.
And he's like, but I can come back like, if you want to do an interview or something like that. And I was like,
that's cool.
Would absolutely love to have you on the podcast.
Yep.
He's like, dude, are you down for like February? You know, this and that and this. And so long story short, early, like second week of February, we've got him booked. Yeah. And it'll be fun, man, because he's great at music. Maybe I can like talk him into playing a little bit.
It'd be fun. Yeah.
And then, man, but for the Redefine piece, and just hearing some of the advice he has for social media and what he's doing behind the scenes in addition to just, his music or whatnot. Like, obviously, he has a unique value add. Got it. But I'm sure there's some other tips and tricks he might have as far as, like, what he's doing. And, dude, he's also just found a way to, like, do what he loves.
Dude.
And travel and do it. And that's what this whole, like, Redefine piece is of, like, just redefining, your perspective on winning or what you want to do with life or just redefining and resetting expectations of how things should be. And I think it's super cool.
Dude, I just admire so much people that just find a way to do what they love, monetize it enough to, live.
Dude.
And man, like, look, Will was showing his Instagram earlier, and he's just traveling all these cool places, and
fucking London,
just
man,
playing outside his saxophone, and
can I get a croissant? I bet he knows how to order everything.
Yeah. That's
Where's that one else? Where's this?
London would be like tea and crumpets or something, right?
You put a little smack in my tea, eh?
Yeah. That's what it is.
You put a little smack in your tea. What's this right here? I gotta play one more. So good.
Dude, you can't help but like close your eyes and just like shake your head. Yeah.
He's so good, bro.
Really good. It's like hearing a guitar solo shred. Like you can't help but like make faces and Yeah, that's good.
Clean.
That's real
If
good.
you know anything about music, if you've ever heard people play like saxophones and the reeds that are used, like anytime someone's really clean on a guitar, if you like, you just you respect how clean it can be versus like the drags that'll kind of happen.
Yeah.
And it still sounds good, but you can kind of hear the drag. And then like with saxophone, like just his ability to hit certain notes, but it's so clean. You're like, oh,
yeah,
that dude gets all the chicks.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking earlier, like, how many chicks do you think he gets? He's like that Chuck Norris joke. Like, how many push-ups does Chuck Norris do? All of them.
All of them. Yeah.
Yeah. How many chicks does this guy get? All of them.
Yeah.
But it's fun, and I can already. If you guys can't tell my energy, not that I'm not always in a good mood or something like that. But well, I'm not. But I'm just excited to have the fucking guy on.
Yeah.
Because, dude, if we were doing Day $1, I don't know if we'd have him on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Versus like a completely different perspective shift. It's like, man, I've got so many cool guys that I follow on Instagram or guys that follow me, like, and it's completely opening a different window for like how I see people that I'm following. And like, man, there's so many more opportunities to invite folks onto the podcast, et cetera, and just give that to our audience, which I think I'm already jazzed about it.
Just interesting folks. And from a good one. And from like a cool perspective too, because like so many people just admire that guy for the music, right? It's going to be cool to see the guy behind the music.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It'll be
interesting.
Fun.
And
it'll
he looks like a, respectfully a black Jack Sparrow, at least in the video that Will
He's
showed
got
me.
such cool fashions.
Yeah,
dude. Just great channel. Like, I mean, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, he's got a cool vibe for sure.
Yeah, a couple million on TikTok, 500,000 on Instagram. And what I like, man, is like I message him, and he's just so kind.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude, I can come out if you want to interview. And I'm like, yeah, dude, absolutely. So like,
I love it.
This will be fun. I got another guy from the UK that's looking at coming on. Really cool stuff. It's like we're already in like that's one of the points maybe we can talk to you guys about today, right? Of just it's interesting how if you can just have a little bit of a perspective shift, right? Mm-hmm. Like, for example, I've got a guy that I coach one-on-one in real estate, Mario. Good dude. He's getting ready to turn pro as a heavyweight boxer. Rips it, right? The more and more him and I have conversations about sports and perspective, the more he's starting to see entrepreneurship as a sport. And he's starting to see how things marry up, and like he's already more competitive. Yeah. It's just these little perspective changes, man. Like our podcast, we rename it, we rebrand it, we have a different mission, and like all of a sudden, the same motherfuckers I've been following and enjoying and interacting with, it's like, but now I'm seeing them for people we could interview because this slight pivot completely expands. Like, imagine like a door, right? How big is a door? 8 feet tall, 7 feet tall?
A nice door, yeah.
Andy Frisella's doors are like 20 feet tall.
6, 7, I think is like the standard door.
So mine are like 6.
No.
A regular door. If you guys can close your eyes, unless you're fucking driving, imagine a door that you could open.
Sure.
But what you don't know is that on the other side of that door, how big and expansive it gets.
Yeah.
And I feel like just a little door can open up an entire ballroom. A little door of rebranding our podcast. We open that door, and then everything I'm looking into, I'm just looking at it differently. Yeah. And it creates that much more possibility. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I feel like people are always looking for like these big fucking things that are the big change. Like you got to win the lottery with an idea, or you got to win the lottery with like some epiphany. And like, no, man, those kind of come around sometimes. Us getting onto YouTube and doing certain things, the timing and how effective we were with it, 100%. But even back then, it didn't seem like a big door. It was just like the next thing we were doing, dude. It was just a door that expanded on the backside of it. So I guess that's what I'm getting. I was like, our podcast blowing up, being on Andy Frisella's and some of these other big podcasts we've been on, right? Like, they didn't seem like this big thing. And like in the moment, they were just these doors you kept opening. But you gotta see these pivots. Like you gotta be attentive to like, I'm like literally visualizing our business right now as I'm talking. And it's like, it's almost like being a running back in football. You know what football is, right?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
The guy that runs the ball.
Oh, no, I was thinking, yeah, got it.
But imagine like having to see these pivots of like where the blocks are happening and how to run through or around certain things.
Sure.
Versus getting tackled, you could imagine.
Yep.
Or like you play jiu-jitsu.
Sure.
AKA touch butt. Right? You ever visualize one move to the next move to the next move? It's like you got to see those pivots, dude.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get caught up and fucking choked.
Yep.
You got to see these little pivots in business, but they're not these big home runs all the time, if any. They just add up. But these little pivots can turn in. Like when we were jumping on YouTube, we didn't identify as like this big thing. It was just the next pivot, the next thing we were leaning into, and it turned out to be this big hit.
Right.
But I don't think anything looks like the fucking lottery and then becomes a lottery.
No.
Sometimes we've gotten super excited about shit, and it was a fucking flop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is, and when you talk about the door, it reminded me, I saw this quote the other day. It said, opportunity can only knock on doors you've built. And I was like,
oh shit.
I was like, damn, that's pretty good.
You hate those
right?
stoic
Like,
people.
I know, but
Fuckers.
like, you know, how many people are waiting for this opportunity when it's like, man, you haven't built shit, you know? You haven't built anything. It can only knock if there's something for it to knock on.
100%. Yeah. I've got a little letter I want to read today. Take it or leave it. Could be for you, could not. All good. I wrote this as a mission statement to everybody that I coach one-on-one that Eli helps me with. Moving into 2025, just as a reminder, in addition to, you know, systems and processes and tactics, et cetera, et cetera. Excuse me. I run into these obstacles sometimes with people, and it's their constant ambition for more, but they haven't become more. And my analogy is like you keep trying to throw faster software, different software, more quality software into your computer. But it's the same processor you bought it with. Yeah. Like how many different external software programs can you upload into your laptop? But if it's the same processor, right, same computing power, it's like, how well is that going to work? And that's a lot of you guys looking for the next thing or just continually like doing that. It's like, man, but you haven't worked on self. You're not a more prepared, increased capacity processor, man, right? So like I wrote this as a I'm gonna fuck you up. You better start using me outside of just these, because we're great at systems and processes and tactics. We're so great at it that sometimes people just get too focused on that and they forget to work on self, myself included. So we had a good call today. Like today was the first time I put everybody one-on-one that I coach on a group call. They all got to meet each other, and now they've got their little powwow. But it was just a good mission statement and a good reminder of like how to move into this year. So I'll read it for you guys. We'll discuss it. If it's for you, great. If it's not, I get it. No sweat. And then we'll just kind of take it from there. What do you think?
Let's do it.
You good for it?
Of course.
All right, let's do it. It's a mission statement I titled, I Am Coach. I am the person who's expected to understand, navigate, and help execute both tactical and personal performance executions in your business. You come to me when you seek betterment and lack direction on how to get there, or more importantly, you lack the who you need to become piece. You come to me when you need light, when your circle starts to fade, as you grow and begin to feel like you don't belong. I am the one you trust. I am the one who's been there before. I'm the outsider, your guide per se, keeping you company on the dark side of growth. You come to me for inspiration, knowing there is more for you. But what you see in me, this is the main reason why you are here. Proof of concept goes a long way. You even come to me before you believe in yourself. Seeing my belief in you is typically what sparks the belief in you in the beginning. Just enough to get started. I am your way out, your path to something greater that can finally become a reality. I am your accountability along the way, making sure you become all you can be in your light on your path. I am your intimacy, giving you comfort and salvation with the self-reflection needed to grow as the person needed to accomplish everything you set sail on. A safe place allowing real growth, real expansion with no judgment along the way. Being that I have been through more, seen more, and fucked up more, judgment has let itself out a long time ago. I am your last line of defense. No matter what the circumstance, I am ready. I am always prepared, and there will always be a way out of whatever storm that may come your way, even the ones you bring upon yourself. Alone isn't something we feel anymore. However, I'm not your friend. Friends come and go. Friends let friends do dumb shit. Friends put friendship above what's right. Friends don't know how to lead you, nor did they sign up for that. Stop obligating them to it. For me, your coach, leadership is a religion. It is something I've been baptized into by my leadership, and what will be required from you in order to win will always be of utmost importance. Being your friend will be a byproduct of mutual respect, time, and levels of success shared as a team. And if achieved, it will always be secondary to the responsibilities as your coach. I am not your comfort. Comfort is your friend on the inside, letting you down in every way possible, allowing you to rationalize and sneak your way right out of your dreams. Comfort hates me, wants nothing more than to make me the enemy in all you do. Because of this, accountability will feel like an attack until you are ready to make a change. I am not a mistake, and you will need to remind yourself of this often, or at least more than you think. I am everything you want to accomplish in the beginning and everything you want to press against and attack during our journey. Because I am the mere exposing the current you, the you that must be faced in order to grow and become the you desired. My intuition will be critical during these times. Trust in the process and trust in me will dictate your levels of achievement more than anything else. Difficult decisions will be required along the way. Failure in making these will extremely limit your overall success. I am not an option. I am coach. There you go.
Yeah, beautiful.
So,
Very well
it's
said.
not AI. There might be some grammatical
said.
corrects in there. Something I wrote personally as a mission statement. And it's, a couple things that stick out, right? Like something I pointed out today. Alone isn't something we feel anymore. That on the surface might make you feel warm and fuzzy and there's this nice blanket around you. Hey, Will's got me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And, motherfucker, you don't get to not call me when you go through stuff. You don't have the luxury to pick and choose where you have your coach help you perform.
Mm-hmm.
Not when you see coach from a performance-based, how I see it.
Yep.
There is no isolation. There is no go through something figured out. Like, no, there's time and place to use your capacity and to grow. But there's times where you are super thin on your own capacity and we should be resourcing and we're not, right? So like, it's not just my offering. It's an offering. It's a mission statement. It's also twofold, as in these are expectations that I've put on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like alone isn't something we feel, not because I'm the resource that I'm there, but because you are expected to adhere to your communication and support and effort alongside of your coach because we're in each other's fucking corner.
Yeah.
I'm your head coach. You're the
Yep.
quarterback.
Yep.
Okay. Like there's communication there. There has to be. And if there's not, there's a problem. But this is how I run coaching.
Yeah.
Right. And there's some perspectives here, that people can adopt. And then, personally through like our call today, everybody we coach is great, but there's just a couple shifts that people have to understand as far as like, oh shit, Will doesn't need me. He wants me. Super different. I don't need to coach financially to pay bills.
Yep.
I coach because I want to. Matter of fact, coaching, I get paid good to coach. At some point, it's going to be super limiting because I can't scale it because you're trading time for money to coach people one-on-one. But I'm always going to do it because I love it and it serves me and it feeds my ambition for what I think my calling is. And as much as we do stuff in group settings and scale and I love it, I love, and I need to still help people develop at an intimate level, one-on-one, and develop their business and their message. Like that's just, man, that's my thing, right? So it's important to me, but it's important for others to understand what a real performance practitioner coach does. It's not just the CRMs and softwares and brands we build for you and how-tos and all of these things. Yeah, we're going to build you a fucking race car in real estate. We're going to build you a race car. We're some of the best at it. I got to make you capable of driving a fucking race car, man. Yeah. And if there's certain circles or decisions that you're making and or not making that aren't the best, it's like if we can't perform here, how and why would we ever have the diligence to be here? And if you question that, just use my analogy. Go look at Formula One drivers and tell me how fucked up their life is. They're not. Just go see go watch
crazy.
Formula One on Netflix.
It's
like
crazy.
Just be super novice, get a super beginner introduction to, I don't care about the drama between race teams. I don't care. Just go watch Formula One on Netflix and then just go watch Did you know a Formula One driver has a personal coach?
No, I believe it.
Paid for by themselves. They are not a part of the team.
Yeah.
Their personal coach, their mindset, their performance coach is paid for by themselves, and they're not part of the race team. They are independent. Just like Tom Brady had that everybody's getting pissed off about, and then they didn't want to let him in the stands or on the field or something for a little while or something weird. Like, same way. They have their own mindset performance coach, completely independent from the race team. And then how well that they train their craft for racing. Imagine how disciplined their life is in order to have the capacity to be capable of being in the driver's seat.
Bro.
Just go watch it for those reasons and then go, hey, I don't need to go race cars, but per analogy, what could I do to better myself in order to have an increased capacity for more in business?
Yep.
Period.
Yep. Well, it is a great analogy too, because just like Formula One, like where like no other sport, even UFC, like your life is not on the line like it is in Formula One, right?
Buddy,
like
it's so crazy.
And in this coaching, like maybe you're not going to literally die, but like your life could fall apart. With like business coaching, like, dude, if you're not locked on, it's like, your life is going to be drastically impacted. Yeah,
your business, and even like UFC, dude, like a lot of emotions there, man, of like winning or losing in public, getting your fucking ass beat, and some of the drama, like, dude, having performance coaches in that standpoint, right? Like, what I really like about Formula One is how tempered they are.
Yeah, yeah.
That's something that you don't always see in fighting. You don't always see in sports, like football, like, because you see a lot of emotion. You can see some drama or guys yelling and screaming or physically exerting themselves on the field and being able to take it out on the field and leave it out on the field. And like, dude, everything with Formula One is so tempered. And you're going to take it out on the track, but not like Ray Lewis takes it out on the football field. Like, everything is so, like, the amount of equanimity you have to be so intense and so lethal, but composed in the car.
Yeah.
And then just, if you see how they manage their life, it's intriguing. Not saying you got to take everything from it, but just admire the humans they're trying to pursue as far as becoming in order to be the person needed for that driver's seat is what I'm getting at. I don't care if you like fucking race cars. Just understand that this year in 2025, moving forward in your business, are you looking for the next thing? And even if you fucking found it, are you prepared to execute said thing at a high level to where it works?
Yep.
You can't get up on time. You can't go to bed on time. You can't keep a cookie out of your fucking mouth. You can't tell certain friends no. You can't tell certain circles no. But somehow, some way, this next thing in business that makes people millionaires is you're going to be a millionaire because you found the thing. That's like saying, like, that's like me finding a race car. And then I just expect, like, now I'm just going to be the fastest.
Or homeboy saxophone.
You're going to, oh, I found a saxophone?
Yeah.
That's what made him rich? Dude, I'm going to drive that car into a wall. Or I'm going to somehow split my fucking lip wide open on that reed.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about? Everyone is so focused on finding the thing, though. And things come around. I just wonder who you are.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
I'm so curious.
I love that letter, too, because it sheds light on how to be coachable by you, right? Like, there's very, very, very few coaches out there where if you're actually going through shit in your life that you're going to call your, like, normal real estate coach, right? Like, not going to happen.
No, but what's fun is, like, I'm a coach that happens to do real estate.
Correct. Yeah.
Right? I'm a performance coach. I'm a Marine Corps. I'm a Marine.
Yep.
Like, that's my pedigree. That happens to be in real estate. So, hey, in my opinion, humbly, fortunately, some folks get access to that if they choose to be a part of coaching. And they get a feel and a taste of maybe a different world within our emphasis of real estate. But dude, that's how I'm coaching. I've seen everybody at the highest level. I see personally and professionally. I know how it goes together, and there is no two. There is no, not in my world. And listen, let's just negate the obvious. Well, you can be fat and rich too, can't you? Yep. Okay, so your personal decisions about cookies and shit don't have to be the best. You can just focus on work, drown yourself in that, and still be super rich, correct? 100%. You could be going through divorce and your personal life being shambles, but, like, you're doing whatever it takes in business, even though your personal life is falling apart. And you can still be rich. 100%. 100%. Yeah, you're still the same person. But could one life be complete shit and then the other part still be successful? Or vice versa? Like 100%. I get it. There's fat, rich people. Got it. Is that the fucking goal?
Yep.
Like, I'm not going to get into an argument with people about the hyperboles between, you know, like, and I argue it too. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Clearly not. How Warren Buffett manages his money is not how he manages his diet. Clearly. Clearly. I got it. I'm one of the ones that says that. But is that the goal?
Nope.
No. So, yes, can you have a successful professional life and a shit personal life? Can you have a successful personal life and a shit, you live in quiet despair, never fucking pull the trigger on your entrepreneurship side? Yes. But that's not the fucking goal, right? The goal is we're talking about being financially successful, professionally successful, personally successful, and at the end of the day, who you're becoming in the mirror, you're proud of, right? Like, that's the fucking goal. So no arguments about why do I need to talk about my personal life and I could still have this, like, well, hey, man, for me, for the people that I want to lead, for the people that I want to coach, we're going to work on all aspects. I'm going to help you win in business, but I'm not going to help you win in so much. Like, I'm not going to help you win in business so much, but then when it's all said and done and you're done working with me for 2 years, you're in a divorce.
Yeah.
or you're super rich and Will got you there, but you're not happy.
Yep.
That's not my fucking goal as a coach. I won't do it. So if I don't have some type of grasp and influence in all aspects of what you're doing, then holistically, we don't have that approach.
Yeah.
But my goal is, like, of course, I want to help you win and make a boatload of money while also becoming the person you want to become, while also becoming the person you need to be for the people that love you.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's like all or nothing, man. We're working on that stuff or we're not. I'm not the guy that's going to come check the box and throw business at you. And meanwhile, you're an alcoholic, drinking yourself to fucking sleep, hating your fucking life. Won't happen. Not with me. It just, it's just not how I like to lead.
Yeah. Well, and it makes sense too, because like there's no, man, with the age of the internet and YouTube, like there's no tactics out there that you can't go find. Like
Correct.
you can go and you can watch a 2-hour free tutorial on how to run Facebook ads for real estate. You can go out there and see every script possible. You can go see how to literally do everything. So it's like, if all that stuff is just literally out there for free, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you successful at this? Why don't you weigh what you want to weigh? Why don't you have the income that you want to make?
And like, at least that stuff can get you started. There's levels to the game. You're going to need coaches to start making a certain amount of money.
Because
we get
personally,
coached with
you
Ryan
can't
Pineda.
keep up with it.
There's shit he does you're not going to find online.
Yeah.
You're just not. There's levels to the game. But the point is, we can't be coached by him and not have a certain level of preparedness and capacity to even absorb and go execute what he's coaching to. If you can't wake your punk ass up and watch a 30-minute video on how to run ads, you're in trouble.
Right.
So it doesn't matter, like, hey, dude, check this funnel out. Made this guy $1 million. It won't matter, dude.
Yep, it does.
There's so many videos and ads and reviews of thumbnails and just different stuff throughout that process and monitoring your ads that it's going to take. You're so fucked. You won't do it.
No, you won't. And it's like, and that's where it clearly comes down to, man, you're just not the person. You don't have the capability right now. You don't have the computer.
Understanding, like, where to start, how to increase capacity, where to start with your business, how to make sure the foundation is set. Like, dude, there's guys we coach that have been around for 10 years. They still don't have a foundation.
What do you find from the coaching clients that you have? What are some of the traits that you find with people that are more coachable than others?
Great question. Here's what I will say. Nobody has a business fucking set up. Nobody's effective with CRMs and systems and processes and different techniques to stay in touch with their fucking clientele.
Yep.
New or not, nobody's doing it at a high level. I feel like we are. I feel like the people above us are. 95% aren't. Dude, I've met agents that do 40, 50 deals a year and they don't have a CRM.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
They have a CRM that's not used. It's a spreadsheet.
That's
online.
crazy to me.
And it's like there's so much money in retargeting and different things. Like, you're doing shit to keep in touch. So nobody's great at that.
Yeah.
And I feel like you don't really get great at that until you get around people that are great at that.
Do you find that the ones that are more coachable than others, are they reaching out more? Do they just do what you tell them to do better and not argue it?
I feel like moms don't communicate as well.
Okay.
Because they're so used to being the end all be all.
They're the ones that everyone comes to.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like the moms that I coach are great women. No knock, right? They tend to shoulder fucking everything. And I'm like, hey, you're being weird. Stop. I'm going to fly out and come see you.
Yeah.
Men have egos, right? Like a lot of times, like guys. So women are more coachable, I feel. But if they're women and they're moms, like I feel like they just want to do everything. Like they're just not used to reaching out.
Yeah.
They're not opposed to it. They haven't become mindful. So a lot of times I reach out to condition it, right?
Okay.
I feel like, you know, like the whole like old dog new tricks.
Mm-hmm.
There's some truth to that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like guys that I coach that have been around for a while, and like I get super afraid of guys older than me. Not because I'm scared or because they're further along than me. They're not.
No. They're not malleable.
It's like I know, oh, this is going to be a shit show.
Yep. Yep.
And by nature, they want to understand and agree with what you say before they'll go attempt implementation.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to slam my fucking dick in the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, you're here for a reason. And I'm not mean to them, but I explain things right away as far as like why we're here and setting expectations. And like, yeah, man, even though they're not as successful as they want to be, they're not even close to being successful, even in the industry. They still have this ego of needing to understand it and agree with it to then try to go implement what I'm asking them to implement. And it's like, dude, we're going to here's your fucking money back.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get fucking nowhere. And I'm giving you my brain and my time and my effort and my thoughts throughout the week for what? So you can sit here and decide whether you agree with what I'm giving. You solicited coaching.
Yep.
You're not coachable.
Yep.
The older you get, man, and I haven't seen it with women. I've got some middle-aged women that I coach. And for the most part, like they just have a hard time reaching out and being resourceful.
Yeah.
But they'll try their darndest. Men, it's like the thought, dude, of like having to understand and agree with something you've never done. And for that to be like in your brain before you go try, it's like, oh, this is why you're not fucking successful.
Yeah.
I know exactly why you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
it's interesting, right? It's like,
and like, dude, everybody I coach are good folks. Like, I'm not shitting on them.
Yeah.
These are just a lot of hurdles that people have, bro.
yeah.
They have. And then like youngsters, it's the attention to detail.
Mm.
It's being able to sit down and pay attention and build your fucking machine out.
Yeah. Like the tedious, like
they want to go out and social media it up or meet folks or do whatever. And it's like, hey, for sure, dude, for sure. But you're not a personality for your brand. You're not Tiger Woods walking around shaking hands for Nike and shit.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
you're fucking self-employed right now. You got to build this thing. Like, and could you get VAs and different people into your business? Of course. But we still have to build it, and you still need to understand it before you go hiring people, so you understand what needs to get done. And I feel like the younger ones lack a little bit of like the patience for systems and processes, a little bit. Even when they're tech savvy, sometimes just sitting down to get it done, they're not as tempered. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because there's that element of like the tedious shit in every aspect of it, right? Because like, let's say you go and outsource to VAs. All right, well, you have to learn how to be a manager, right? Like that's one thing I've had to do in the past couple of years was like realize like, oh shit, I gotta like read manager books and I gotta learn like, some corporate structure. And,
you got to know what to task people out with, man. And then you got to know how to like manage it and set expectations and have meetings and review. And everyone like wants to be leader, right? Because it's romantic and everyone's a fucking coach. Everyone's a fucking leader. And it's like, listen, dude, even within that billet, there's manager traits, especially if they're in your, like you might be leading people in your business. There's still things that are managerial that have to happen. And like, dude, as you grow an even bigger company, managers matter. Like not everybody needs to be this fucking leader, pioneer, tip of spear person. Like a Bill Gates, right? Like the visionary and the whatever. Cool. But you're going to need managers.
Oh yeah.
All throughout the different levels that you have in that company for accountability, for dates and deadlines, and for up to standard work or not. And they're not going to be very motivational. They might be. And maybe one day they end up being on the board of directors for Apple. But probably not. They're just there to make sure that the work you're doing is up to standard, that you're hitting dates and deadlines appropriately, and that you're working on the right shit, and that you show up. Like, those things fucking matter. Like, you need managers.
You do.
It's okay, right? Like, The fucking water boy or certain like staff on the field don't have to be as motivating as your head coach or coordinator.
Right.
They're just there to get a fucking job done and make sure certain things are there to standard.
Yep.
You need those. So then like your bigger players, not bigger, but just like your leaders can focus on the leadership side of things and they don't have to stop to go manage.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as you grow, you need both.
Man, I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions with entrepreneurship is not understanding that like you're not always gonna like we don't literally have a boss. But we have people that rely on us as much as a boss does, even more so.
Bro.
Right? Like it's like
think about it. No one wants a boss.
Yep.
And then you have to boss yourself and you have no fucking idea what to do.
Yeah.
Or even if you do, you have to get yourself up.
Yeah.
You have to get yourself to do the work.
You got to have meetings with people that you don't want to have meetings with. You know, that's boring. That's this.
How dare you say that?
You know, like
we've had meetings with people we don't want to meet.
Almost all of them. Almost all of them.
How dare you?
Yeah.
I thought this was so fun.
Yeah. People need things from you, right? Like, wait, I'm the boss. People need things from you, right?
Dude, if you start learning leadership, you'll just realize it's very service-based. Leadership is a very I work for them, not the other way around. I might paint vision in certain things for sure. But everything you're doing, like you're more in service of people that are running the machine than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Dude,
Yeah,
that's
man.
something that people just don't, you just don't get. That's why I like that we have our podcast and get to share this stuff because, again, a lot of podcasts, you just hear the romantic side or you don't hear any of it. Like, you know, you see Joe Rogan, 4 days a week having a 3-hour podcast. And man, if you knew the machine that was behind that dude, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, he always dumbs it down. Like, nah, man, I just post shit. I've never worried about a title or
It's
like,
crazy.
probably true. But as far as like the business and how it works now, like there's definitely people in play to keep it sustainable and all that good stuff.
100%.
We've heard a little bit. My buddy before he passed, right, did all of Joe Rogan's security.
Yep, but I'm sure there's a massive team behind there you just have no idea about, right? But what he's good at is getting the right people in the right places.
Or like Dana White, we don't hear much about behind the scenes on UFC, but we know for sure that is a huge organization that he's helped build. And just everything there, navigating COVID and building Fight Island and just like the shit that had to happen, dude. Holy cow.
Yeah, that dude's crazy. That's another one just makes it look, he don't make it look easy necessarily, but you
crazy, dude.
It's the iceberg thing. Like you see probably 1% of what's actually going on. Not even. Yeah.
But this is for you guys, right? Like we won't keep you too long today. This is just a read my mission statement to you and just getting you guys to open perspective. Like, hey, redefine how you see things, redefine your expectations, redefine where you put effort, redefine what you're diving into or isolating yourself from, and just ultimately what I'm getting at is like redefine the person that you need to become that's capable of the shit you keep trying to fucking get to work for yourself.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And watch
it's you, man.
And that language too, like getting rid of that old language you have about yourself. Oh, I'm not a tech person. Okay, then go get a job and sit in a fucking cubicle and go somewhere where you don't need to be a tech person because in this world, you can't just not be a tech person.
But you have capacity to sit down and learn from guys like us or learn online to get it to where it's good enough to get organized and get some things started, to get business coming in, and then it can get delegated out to an employee because you can afford that. It's not that you got to run it forever, man. It's that you got to run it preliminary and making sure that you get some clients going, you get a couple of deals under your belt, and all of a sudden you can afford something, right? So it's not the end all be all or forever, things like that, but it's just that label versus like, what are you doing to lean in to be as proficient as possible to increase your capacity? You're not. But we continue to reach or look for these next things that are making everybody so wealthy. And those things are.
Yeah.
You can get super rich on YouTube. I promise from experience. We've never missed a fucking video, bro.
Yeah.
In 4 fucking years.
During COVID, during babies,
Do you guys know what it takes to never miss a video? You don't even know what it takes to fucking you don't even know what it takes to record a video. Okay. And then once we do record the video, uploading it, chopping it up, organizing it for our editors and all, you guys just have no idea like how well you have to be prepared. So like, hey dude, we still travel. I speak across the country. We have agents across the country. We have families. There's weeks we can't film. What did you do? We probably filmed more before we left. What does that require? Time management.
Stayed up till 3 a.m.
But there's just shit, right? Like, how do you stay up till 3 a.m. to get it done? we have capacity, right? Like it's been built over time. And I'll leave everybody with this. Whatever it takes, that meaning is subjective to the person saying it. Because when I say whatever it takes, when Eli says whatever it takes, cool. What does it mean when you say, I'll do whatever it takes? What does that mean? Just write that out for yourself, write a contract for yourself, and then don't negotiate it. But you should really ask yourself, like, are you willing to do whatever it takes? Or is that something that's barely said at all, or it sounds romantic when people say it, and then you stand up and clap for it when you hear it? And you cheer for them, like, hey, what does it mean for you? Like, when are you going to start writing that contract and setting expectations for yourself? And then when it is whatever it takes, it's like, listen, even if you stay up till 3 a.m., like we do sometimes, if you don't know how to do what we were doing at 3 a.m., it wouldn't fucking matter anyway. It's not the 3 a.m. that made us win. It's learning everything in and out about the YouTube and about the process. So when we were busy, and we did work late, we had the efficiency to still get it done. Uploading video, organizing it, getting our certain basic edits done. That way it sped it up for our editor to still get it out on time. Like there was things we had to do there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you stay up late. Staying up late was the unpredictable shit happens thing.
Yep.
What happens if like we don't have an editor one week? Then what? Do you have a plan B? Do you know how to do it yourself to at least get that video out? Oh, my editor was sick. I didn't have a video. You know how many times I fucking heard that?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You should at least understand enough to know, and then you can get that fucking thing out.
Welcome to entrepreneurship.
Can you
man.
repurpose some fucking content that was already edited? Like what? But don't not have a result.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Oh, well, this or over that. You know, or like, hey, when are we doing your next video? Oh, man, I was waiting for you to tell me. Like, why the fuck would you already missed by a month?
Yep.
You haven't done a video in a month. What the fuck are you waiting to hear from me? No, don't point your finger. You're a month late. Don't be fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
But again, even if you stay up late, if you just don't know how to do, what to do, when to do, why to do, how to, like, it won't matter anyway, dude. It's all in like your predictable time, your self-initiating task time of learning and applying certain said skill set as you acquire it over time to increase it. So you're just prepared, man.
Yep. Dude, it's that whole, like, I love when you call the business like your baby.
It is,
because like what happens if you, I don't know, run out of baby food for your baby? What happens if you run out of formula?
Dude.
You're just not going to feed your baby for a month.
I fucking hope not.
Probably going to figure something out, right? Like it literally
and it's
is a baby.
Like that just goes to show you, like, people have significantly more in them. More times than not, like it's by choice, man. People are just like consciously making a decision not to put the level of effort in.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Happy
man.
New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Redefine. We got Homeboy coming on soon.
Yep.
We're going to have some other fun guests that are coming on. Either way, I hope that mission statement was good for you. If you hear this podcast and you're curious, send me a DM on Instagram. I will send you the document that I printed out for everybody, or that I created for everybody and sent out. So if you want that official mission statement from me, throw me a DM on Instagram. I'll get it to you.
And hopefully I'm not opening too big of a can of worms here, but if, again, with this expanded podcast, like, hit us up. I'm sure you follow Will on Instagram, Will_Grimes. I'm terrible at Instagram, but if you think you'd be a good guest, you're into some cool shit, you're doing something fun, exciting, interesting, shoot my friend a DM. I'll put him on blast
right now. Here's what I will say: I'm gonna look into you.
100%. Oh, absolutely.
So, like, I don't care what your hobby is and what. Like, if you guys are coming on a podcast of this size, yeah, man, it's not to be rude. I don't care if you're famous or not. You better be fucking locked on. We were on Annie's Frisella's podcast.
Yeah,
we had no business being on a podcast that big. That grew us tremendously.
Yeah,
but we were doing good shit. We were locked on, and we were good dudes, and he appreciated who we are. He looked into me. He looked into us. We were vetted. It was all good. So this isn't about your followers. It's not that you have to have a lot of followers to be on the podcast, but you better have your shit together if you're on the podcast, because we're not just going to come in here and talk about fucking hypotheticals and shit like that. We're talking, like, if you're talking about what you're doing or whatever it may be, like, be locked on, be prepared to have that conversation.
That's
and
right.
Absolutely happy to have it, but we got to redefine standard.
Yep.
There will be a standard for folks that are on the show. So,
and there will be some no's. There will be some no's. So if you get a no, don't get offended. Get better, and then maybe we'll be yes.
Eli doesn't say yes to anybody. So if you guys at least want to maybe hit me up.
There you go. That's
Love
right.
and appreciate you guys. We will see you on the next episode. But hey, maybe we'll have some more music.
Yeah.
We'll find out. I'm good with long cut. It's old school. It's whatever. I like it. If we change it, cool. But either way, we will hear from you guys and see you guys next week.
All right. Redefine.
Out of here.
I'ma sip it on down and turn it up. Southbound and we trailblazing, yeah, bud. And the posse dirty, filthy like a spit cup. Dropping bombs out the gate, bringing big guns. Raw records, we the stake, we the A1. Speak up and we know where we came from. Welcome to the posse, let me hear you long cut. A little whiskey on the tongue and some long cut. I'ma slip it on down and turn it up. Southbound and we trailblazing, yeah, bud. And the posse dirty, filthy like